Hello, this is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing, and we are at the entrance to my home. And this is the Christmas wreath on the first day of Christmas. Very different than last year's, different theme. It's got the angel from the, I don't know if I can show you that, it's the angel from the Neapolitan creche at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I didn't go steal it from there, it's from the gift shop. But there's a quote on my door I want to share with you. The quote we put up this year. I don't know if this will read frontwards or backwards with the camera, but it says, reflect upon your present blessings, of which every person has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all people have some. And that is a Charles Dickens quote I'm very fond of. So let's go inside, as Judy Garland says on the holiday Christmas special of hers that I just love with Lorna and Liza and Mel Torme and everyone. Hello, welcome to my home. She gets that weird like British accent thing going on. I have no idea what that's about. But we love her because she's Judy, and it's Christmas and all. So I have a very long hallway here, so please pardon me while I make my way down it backwards for you masks, lots of those. And there's our ceiling is very festive. That's kind of a year-round thing, and we just put that back up because we had some hurricane damage that was quite an ordeal. So we are now entering the living room. There's the creche, the very pretty holiday creche. It's a simple one this year, a larger piece, less ornate, and it's time to light the tree. Then my favorite part. I love this. Welcome. This talk is about an invitation to joy. That's what it's about. I just want to invite you to a joyful experience, whatever that is for you. So today is a very special day to me. It is the first day of Christmas, which I'll explain in a moment. It is the first day of Kwanzaa, which is a beautiful, beautiful holiday that I want to talk briefly about. And it is also Boxing Day, which is probably my favorite day of the year. So let's get to it. First of all, you may notice or not that I am very casual right now. I'm in my pajamas. So my little Santa, I know him shirt from Elf the Musical. You don't often see casting directors in their pajamas, and I'll just say there's a good reason for that. We're behind the table people. You can Google casting directors in pajamas. Nothing comes up except some casting director in LA who casts some pajama commercial or something. So now that we've got that out of the way, and there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that. It's a very casual day today, but this holiday season, this season of joy, it's really an invitation. And I don't want anyone to feel like, I'm not going to tell you how to feel however you want, but I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, that's a Christmas thing. That's not my thing. Or, I had problems growing up with my family and Christmas had bad memories. And therefore, I am somehow excluded. The last thing on earth I want to participate in is an exclusionary holiday of any kind. I want to celebrate everything, and I want to celebrate with everyone, and I want to invite you to celebrate with me. It's a very small, simple celebration this year. This is very light decorating for us, festive and gay, and this is not very much compared to what we usually do. But it is the first day of Christmas, and I want to explain what that means. So there's 12 days of Christmas. We all know, and a partridge in a pear tree, right? So the 12 days of Christmas, people often, nowadays, we're led to believe they're the 12 days leading up to Christmas because that's when, corporations can sell the most. Not at all. Christmas Day is December 25th. That's when it's celebrating. When it's celebrated, the real birthday of Jesus Christ is actually thought to be around 4 BC, so that kind of messes with the calendar, and probably in October. So it's not. It was geared by the church at one point to line up with the solstice celebrations to sort of get the people who were not Christians to kind of come on board and go, oh, we're having a party too. Look, we have lights. It was this thing that happened over time. But December 25th is Christmas Day. And then the 12 days of Christmas are December 26th through January 6th. So that is a 12-day period, January 6th being the 12th day of Christmas or 12th night or what you will, right? The most often produced of Shakespeare's plays in the entire canon, Twelfth Night or what you will. Light and festive, fair, joyful, and delightful, because that's the association of Twelfth Night. And in much of Europe and in many South American cultures and many Latin cultures throughout the world, and many other places, January 6th is actually the big holiday. That's when you do the feast and you have all the presents and all of that. It's an American thing that it's December 25th more than January 6th, probably American and British, I guess. Probably some other places too. Every culture celebrates different aspects of things in their own ways, but this time of the year is a time of so many celebrations, and I don't want to miss one, and I want to assure you that you're invited to all of it and everything, and not excluded from anything. We do not do exclusionary here, and just that today, this present moment, is therefore the first day of Christmas, and it's also the first day of Kwanzaa, and it is also Boxing Day. And those three things are wonderful. I celebrate all 12 days of Christmas. I go all the way through January 6th, and then I start to calm down a little bit. But and when there's work, I'm working betwixt and between. I work pretty hard, but I also play pretty hard, because life is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be fun. And in people, I'm telling you, especially in work-related situations, if I have auditions in early January and I show up and I'm wearing my Christmas socks, and I get a little bit of the slanty eye from people of like, that guy's really strange. He's still wearing Christmas socks. It's like January. Hey, buddy. And I'm like, you know what? It's like the 10th day of Christmas, and I'm still celebrating. And if you think I'm crazy, you got to consider that in other cultures, like in the Philippines and in Puerto Rico, they do it right, and Christmas celebration is 4 months long. They start in mid-September and they go through mid-January, and sometimes they start in October and they go through mid-February, because it is a time of celebrating such beautiful values and joyful things. And why argue to shorten it? Why argue for less of it? There's plenty less of that without arguing for it. It just kind of happens on its own. So if there's opportunity or an excuse to celebrate and delight and put up lights around the darkest days of the year, where there's like right near the winter solstice, there's so little daylight. The sun's going down to 4:30 in the afternoon in New York. Isn't it a wonderful thing to brighten and lighten and celebrate? Isn't it a wonderful thing to give gifts, to get in touch with people that you haven't talked to for a while, friends you haven't seen? If you're going to have a Zoom visit, have a Zoom visit. If you're going to have an in-person visit, have an in-person, but connect. Just kind of send a message to somebody. There's so many ways to do that nowadays, and just say, thinking of you. Thank you for being in my life. What a wonderful opportunity to do that. So it's the first day of Kwanzaa. Again, a holiday I just love. In 1966, it was Dr. Maulana Karenga, if I'm saying that correctly, who founded the holiday. Initially, it was thought of or interpreted as a sort of a foregoing the usual Christmas traditions in favor of this new holiday. And then Dr. Karenga said clearly shortly after that it is not meant to serve as an alternative to Christmas, but rather Kwanzaa is intended to be a celebration that people of all races and faiths are welcome to participate in. And I love that, because we have big Kwanzaa celebrations at my church. We had one this morning, and it was so beautiful with the candle lighting ceremony and all of the different values spoken about. Kwanzaa is a time that celebrates family, community, history, and culture. Community. I'm such a big community person. As Bill T. Jones said to me years ago, how do you phrase it? Families are dysfunctional, but communities are functional, for they are the family we choose. And theater is my community, the arts, creative people, that's my community. Part of Kwanzaa is the days lead to a time of meditation and reflection, and it's reflection about recommitting to the highest values of humanity and also society. Well, who cannot use more of that? And the candle ceremony is about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, and we did this today at my church. Unity, self-determination, collective work, and responsibility. Oh, God, I love that one. Collective, there's community again, right? Collective work and responsibility. So beautiful. Cooperative economics. I love the phrasing of that. It's not about wealth or accumulation of wealth. Cooperative economics, sharing what we have with one another. Purpose. There's a whole number in Avenue Q about that. Creativity. Okay, that's my favorite. And faith. Maybe the most important one. I mean, these values are to be celebrated and enjoyed, and they're worth reflecting upon. So even if you're not a big Kwanzaa person who does the whole thing with the red candles and the green candles and the black candle, what if you just enjoyed thinking upon those things, or devoted some meditation time to, what would be the highest values for you of humanity or society, for any of us. Um, and then, of course, the third thing we're celebrating today, Boxing Day. Boxing Day may very well be my favorite holiday of the year. It's a British holiday, comes from Great Britain and the British Commonwealth, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Hello to my friends in Canada and happy Boxing Day. I learned about Boxing Day when I lived and worked in Canada years ago, and it was a fascinating idea that the day after Christmas was a whole other holiday. I loved that idea. It was like, another one? Because I can't get it all done in one day. There's so much to celebrate, and we have so many presents. We still have presents to open. My partner and I, we still have lots of presents to open. And there's just so much to do, and there's so much fun, and there's so much calling people and Zooming people and wanting to reach out, and there's just not enough time. And Boxing Day is what I learned when I was in Canada is it's rooted in the idea that the very rich people in old London, jolly old England, they gave the servants worked very hard on Christmas, of course, because that was where the big festive dinner was and all of that. And so they gave the next day, December 26th, Boxing Day, all the servants had off. They gave the servants off. And then the servants could have their own Christmas with their own families. And the story, as I heard it from my Canadian friends, was it's sort of believed that the rich people had all these fancy stores and these gifts that had these beautiful boxes. And they gave the boxes to the servants, who then would wrap up their gifts in these beautiful boxes and give them to one another amongst their own families. And I always thought that was a little like, that gets a whole day named after it, that you're giving somebody your old boxes. So I was always a little like, but more recently I did some internet research, and the way the story is being told on the internet now, which I guess depending on the source, who knows, but it's that the tradition is more that the rich people would then give the servants the day off and give them fruits and gift baskets and beautiful gifts for their family in very nice boxes, and the boxing of these things for the servants, so they could bring them to their families. That's what the boxing was of Boxing Day, and it was for the servants to have the day off and everyone to just relax. Oh, I love that. A whole day devoted, a holiday whose purpose is to relax, to box up stuff, give it away, and then just relax. Hence, casting director in his pajamas. Santa, I know him. Okay, it's showing up backwards on my screen. It looks like Satan. I know him. Anyway, so Boxing Day, the idea of just relaxing, I don't have to shave today. I just, pajamas is fine. We can just open presents and relax. We can make Christmas dinner that we didn't get around to making yesterday. It's just a relaxing holiday. As I understand it, in many parts of England and Canada and Australia, there are it's like Black Friday in America. It's like the big shopping day. But there are some parts, particularly in Ontario, Northern Ontario, where it's actually required that all the stores be closed because it is a day for everyone to relax. Isn't that the greatest holiday you've ever heard of? I really love it. And the truth is that my partner and I, generally in any given year, we're doing a lot for Christmas with our families and such. And I'm usually cooking December 23rd and Christmas Eve day brunch and Christmas night dinner and Christmas Day dinner. And Boxing Day is our first chance to have our time together at home alone without all the relatives and friends around, so that we can just be together and have our romantic Christmas day. with our tree, which is usually much larger than this, and our presents to open and our time together. And there's no pressure and there's no requirement to be anywhere or do anything. And it's just the most pleasant and romantic day in the world. And I just love it. So I want to wish you a happy Boxing Day. I want to invite you to rest and relax. You know, Boxing Day always makes me think of, the old Norman Rockwell painting where it's like December 26th and Santa's like asleep in his chair after the long flight and delivering presents to the whole world. That's what Boxing Day always feels like to me. It feels like my partner and I get to just and just relax after all of the Christmas whoosh whirlwind. So happy Boxing Day, happy season of joy. What are we celebrating? What is this about? Is Christmas a religious holiday? Yes, absolutely it is. Is Christmas something that anyone is welcome to join in and celebrate? Yes, absolutely it is. It is a festive time. It is a time of light in the darkness. It is a time of celebrating our divinity, our humanity, but also the divine nature of who we truly are. One of my favorite parts about Christmas is that quote from the Bible. It's actually from the Old Testament about he shall be called Emmanuel, a name which means God with us. God with us. We're celebrating God with us. We don't have to do this alone. I mean, in this time period where, particularly for those of us in the Broadway community, that we are dealing with a year and a half with everybody out of work, and then shows coming back and then shutting down again and shutting down again. And this is sort of off-brand, but the president of the League of Broadway Theaters saying something disparaging about swings and understudies in Broadway shows. I'm really sorry, but that's not okay. I mean, over years, I have cast many, many swings and understudies, people I have faith in. And if as a casting director, I say, we're going to offer you the understudy, that is the highest praise. That is saying, I believe in you enough that I think you're the kind of person who's so talented, so mega talented, that you could be in the ensemble and the chorus doing a great job at a matinee on a Wednesday afternoon, and that night you could carry the lead in the show and knock it out of the park in a way that the entire audience will be thrilled to see you. That is a lot of faith in a person, and I have had that time and time again and continue to have that in performers. And I'm sorry, but if the president of the league doesn't feel that way, and I know she issued an apology, but didn't cut it for me. So kudos to Kathy Voitko, one of the most talented members of our community, who I've known for years to be one of the most talented members of our community, who, with no notice and an afternoon of rehearsal, went on in the lead in The Music Man opposite Hugh Jackman the other night. And God bless you, Kathy, and God bless all of you who are swings and understudies and performers and who do this noble work that we do. I'm so grateful for you. One more thought along the lines of Boxing Day and relaxation is my partner and I had a theme for this year, Easy Christmas. That was our theme. And that's good for any year, but for us, mostly it's a bit more festive and heavily adorned. Those of you who know us would know, like, what's going on there? Where's the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree in the middle of your living room and such? Where's the nativity creche with the 800 people from all your ancestors and relatives that you've inherited? Most of it we left in the closet this year. So as many of you know, I did a talk on this a while back. Back in September, Hurricane Ida hit us pretty hard and destroyed half our apartment. So for the last 4 months, we have been dealing with all of that. Basically replastering and repainting and rebuilding the very structure of our apartment and this building that we live in. And it was hit mighty hard, and the work has been relentless. I mean, honestly, relentless. It's been really difficult. And we have been sealing and plastering and caulking and putting nails in walls and trying to get things back up for so many months that we just decided the idea of like putting up all the Christmas decorations and just continuing that when we've basically done stuff like that every day for months, it just felt like it didn't feel joyful and fun. And so we decided to go with the theme of Easy Christmas, where it was just like, you know what? We can just have a nice, easy Christmas. We can just take out the 4 bins on the lower level of the back of the closet and leave the 8 boxes that live on the upper level of the back of the closet, and just take out what pieces we have that are available easily. We can have leftover Christmas Eve dinner on Christmas night, and we can wait until Boxing Day to make the ravioli. It's on the stove now, cooking. So excited. And we can take some of our Christmas china and put little snacks and things out on that. And we can also just use some regular plates for the rest of it. Just easy. Just not pressure. Easy Christmas. And it's joyful. And I invite you. I invite you to easy Christmas. And you can start anywhere you are. So it's Boxing Day. It's the first day of Christmas. What a great time to start. Let's say you're listening to this on the 2nd day of Christmas or the 6th day of Christmas, which I think is New Year's Eve, or the 12th day of Christmas, January 6th. Whenever you're hearing this, you can start. You can say, you know what? I want a little Christmas. I want a little easy Christmas. I'm just going to meditate and reflect on my place in humanity, the divinity of who I truly am, my soulfulness, society, culture, the world, creativity, faith, God with us. And you can start wherever you are. It's not like, oh, I missed Christmas Day, I didn't do it this year. It's like, we are in the season of Christmas. We are in the festive season of joy. You are welcome. You are invited to participate. Would you like to? Come. Come and be joyful. Come and be grateful. Come and see all the wonderment of who you truly are. Come and enjoy that. Join others in the joyfulness of recognizing our beautiful, soulful selves. And let's be kind to one another and reach out to one another and help one another. And that's Christmas. Instant Christmas could happen with a thought or a gesture or an action. Easy Christmas. So I wish you a very happy Boxing Day, a very happy first day of Christmas, a very happy Kwanzaa, a very happy Hanukkah belatedly, happy Las Posados, happy winter solstice, Yuletide, happy Soyal, happy New Year, happy Three Kings Day, happy Year of the Tiger coming up, right? Chinese New Year coming up in early February, and we've gone from the Year of the Ox going into the Year of the Tiger, which is where we're all going to vault forward, and everything's going to be good. So faith and creativity and action and cooperative, all of that. This is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. We support the Actors Fund and Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. So if you want to make a Christmas gesture of giving, by all means, you can support our community there. And I'm really happy that you could join me for this little bit of time. Happy, easy Christmas.